When my mind gets weary and my eyes get teary, I open my heart and bare my soul. The poetry begins to unfold. As I write or as I type, I capture the rhythm of my life. Happy moments but also pain and strife. Poetry is my water, it's my life, healing to my soul through joy and strife. Absolute beauty unfolds, carrying me into stories untold. It's my life, it's my soul. Poetry, each word a drop, each line a stream, flowing through my hopes and dreams. The healing power takes control, bringing peace to my weary soul.
I'm about to start my shift. Hi everybody, it's Izzy, Dr. Poetry. I'm about to start my shift, and today's topic is going to be fibromyalgia over at the Poetic Clinic. I suffer from fibromyalgia. I do. And it is a challenge. It's a challenge. I'm going to tell you why it's a challenge. Because I gotta wear things like, I wear this, see? It's pretty heavy, right? I wear this, and I wear this. All this is heavy. I've been having a lot of pain lately. There's been a lot of work. I'm not complaining about my job. I'm not complaining about what I do. I love what I do. But I hate not being able to do more because I'm in pain. And I'm not ready to sit down at a desk. Well, my body's ready, but mentally, I'm not ready. I may be going through some ego stuff, maybe. If you see right here, it's from pain. Well, let's put this on. Let's put this. Sometimes it falls. It's a little big on me. I gotta get me a new one. I gotta shop in my own store. Badge of Pearls, the Agent Acevedo tactical gear. I got a nice belt there I'm gonna order for myself. All right, I'm gonna take you to my car, where we're gonna put on a vest on top of that, right? It's not easy, y'all. It's not easy because you see all this? All this? The muscle, the pain, and you see all that light up there? It blinds me. So I always wear shades. Not because of the sun, but because it bothers me. And if I don't take care of it, the cognitive fog thing comes in, and I hate that too. But let's walk over to my vehicle where I can pick up my bulletproof vest. And it hurts, y'all. It hurts. Let's go. See? Oh great, it's raining. Now my hair is getting a mess. That's okay. We're good. The reason why I want to show you this whole process is because if anybody knows what fibromyalgia is, it's excruciating pain on both sides. Although it's cloudy outside right now, there's a glare that blinds me and bothers me because I'm sensitive to lights. Now, it's interesting how the sun doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I love the sun. In fact, I look up to the sun. Meaning I look at it, feel like it's good for all that grounding and things that we need to do. Hold on a second. Here we go. Let's go. I'm gonna Wait right here. I need y'all to wait because I gotta put on this bulletproof vest. Camera. Now this weighs a lot more too. It weighs a lot. And I'm gonna put it on. And I have pain. And I'm not crying or anything because I think my tolerance for pain is I shouldn't be getting used to the pain. But I am. And so that raises my blood pressure. I don't have any problems with cholesterol. I don't have any problems with my sugar. I'm pretty healthy. But since it's neurological and the pain is unbearable sometimes, I seem to bear it. And I don't know if it's that I'm doing what I've been doing forever, trying to be strong. I call it the Wonder Woman syndrome. All right, so let me put this big heavy thing on. Yeah, it does hurt, y'all. It hurts. And the reason why I keep putting it on is because I keep explaining this to my supervisors and no one seems to be paying attention. I tell them. Sorry, y'all. I'm not out of breath, it's just that it's raining and I'm all wet. All right. So what it looks like. All right? You guys see me with it? This is the shit. Because in the police force, you're not supposed to complain. Because when you tell them, they think you don't want to go to services, some operations that you need to go, right? Some special services that we need to attend, meaning work, reinforced in other areas. So they think you're trying to get out of it. Well, most people know that I like to work. I'm much more operational than administrative, meaning boots on the ground instead of just sitting at a desk. I could do both. I'm prepared to do both. But I prefer operations. I'm hands-on. I could do administrative work as well. I'm pretty bright and intelligent. I think we could do that. I think anyone could do it. We all could. But the biggest challenge with all this equipment is getting in and out of the patrol car. I am I'm 5'10" and a half, almost 5'11", almost 5'11". Yeah. So going all the way in and going all the way out. Now, mind you, this belt right here, it presses on my lower belly, right? I've had 15 surgeries there. I have a mesh 15 by 20 and my intestines have staples. I've had a series of surgeries. So I have a lot of scar tissue. And it hurts. The trauma, right? The physical trauma. But right here, and right here, and back here, and my arms, and my waist are in pain. Like, it's causing pain. But I'm the type of person that says, yes, you have pain, but you're gonna be okay. You're not gonna die. You know, I think of people who have cancer who are practically in their last breath, having their last breath, and I fight. Should I be fighting? Should I? Should I be trying to be so strong? What am I doing to myself? Welcome to the Poetic Clinic. Today's topic is fibromyalgia. And I'm Dr. Poetry. I've been having fibromyalgia since 2017, but I was diagnosed in 2020. I believe, but I didn't accept that diagnosis. I accepted the one in Puerto Rico because I couldn't believe it. But it's not the end of the world, but how do we work with this? How do we live with this? They say stay moving, stay in shape, lift up, watch what you eat, But what about those moments when you get the fogs? Shout out to Miss Cheesecake and Granny Wowzers. Today's topic is fibromyalgia, and I expect everyone to be responsible about this conversation because it's serious. It does exist, and it's more than mental health. It's physical too. We're not making it up. I know I'm not. Oh, we're both muted. My goodness, I see that and I start getting pain. I see that and I know exactly. I get stressed. Welcome, Granny Wowzers, and thank you
Hey.
for having this right here.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
because
It's a lot.
I'm just learning about it, but watching this video, I was feeling it with you. Like I felt you putting the belt on. I can see the struggle with the belt and then to put the vest on. Oh my God. I was just sitting there going, wow. I'm just wow. And you know, this fibromyalgia thing, it's something I don't know a lot about that I've taken the time to learn some more stuff about, but it's definitely something real. And from what I read about it is very real.
Right.
And you can see the real pain even though you're trying to be tough, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's in your face. Even with the glasses on, you can still see it in your face.
Hmm.
And
You
your
start
and
feeling you start feeling very there's a lot of inflammation going on. Now,
yeah.
I will say this. I will give you what the medical, right, explanation of fibromyalgia.
Mhm.
Fibromyalgia, fibromyalgia is a chronic condition characterized by widespread musculoskeletal pain, fatigue, tenderness in specific areas of the body. It affects how the brain and the spinal cord processes pain signals,
Right.
right? It leads to amplified sensations of discomfort. Although its exact cause is unknown, fibromyalgia is linked to stress, right? They say infections or physical trauma. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, and it affects most women, right? Not most women. It affects more women than men.
Them yeah.
Okay, and the pain associated with fibromyalgia, it can be persistent and it varies in intensity. It often
Wow.
presents a deep aching sensation, burning, or a sharp stabbing pain. And people like me experience a lot of heightened sensitivity, like the light. Sometimes when I talk to people and I'm like by there's a light, and especially the fluorescent, the lights from artificial lights, right? The lights, the not the
Right.
sunlight. I do this. Now the sun heals the pineal gland. We know this. You look up and you can look at. I love sun gazing. I love doing that. I actually think that that's why my case hasn't been so bad, but lately it has gone into full mode. Like it just won't go away at all, right? And so I'm gonna continue explaining a little bit about this, and then I'm gonna share something else with you guys. So we were talking about the sensitivity, right?
Yeah.
I can smell. It's almost like I call it the Wonder Woman thing because all of a sudden my senses are heightened.
Mhm.
I hear, like, if you're down the block and you start screaming, I hear the scream like in my ear loud, and I'm not exaggerating. I hear it. A dog bark. My neighbor just earlier this today was drilling, and the drill felt like he was in here drilling. Um, if someone's talking a little loud, it feels like they're screaming at me,
Oh.
right? Yeah. It feels like they're screaming at me. And that's another situation that I'll explain. Um, Loud noises. Now, it's interesting. Everything that's natural, everything that's nature doesn't bother me. The coquilles heal me. Okay. The coquilles bring down my stress levels. What are coquilles? We've talked about coquilles. Everybody knows it's the native little tree frog, the national treasure of Borinquen, of Puerto Rico. And every night you're going to hear them sing. And somehow uh, what's considered a nuisance for other states like Florida and California, for Borinquen,
It's
It's
soothing.
very calming, it's soothing, and there's a lot of folks that are looking into listening to those sounds to help you ease the
Right.
stress and to help you heal those symptoms of fibromyalgia. So sensitivity, temperature changes, you know. At first I was like, am I going through menopause? And I was not. And I may have already been through it and not even know it, didn't feel it. But what I'm feeling is the heat feels like I'm in hell, and the cold feels like there's a glacier wrapped around my body. So I'm constantly in little woolly socks, right? Even in AC. I'm always cold. My
Wow.
feet are always cold. My hands are cold. My nose, it gets cold. Um, and sometimes I can't even sleep. Why? Because the pain wakes me up, you know? Now, all of that, sure, it could bring on depression. It could. It could bring mood disorders like anxiety and depression, right? But the problem that I'm having right now, which I will get into after I present, um, I want to play an audio that I have. The biggest challenge for me, and I think I mentioned in the video, Granny, it was that it's the brain fogs, right? The
Oh,
Aside from being a state police officer and wearing the uniform, it's the brain fog. Is that all of a sudden I'm talking to someone and I can't focus. I'm in the middle of I'm writing a report and I'm interviewing someone, and the ambulance comes through and and fireman, and then this guy's whistling over there and the dog is barking, and all of that is like, Calgon, take me away. Like all of a sudden and then I can't even talk. It's like I'm like, what are you saying? What were we talking about? It's like boop 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 boop. That is what's been really heightened lately. Like, and the pain that I get is on the base of my skull. It's like someone's fist, like putting a fist on the back of my head and just doing like a knuckle sandwich.
oh, that's
It's
painful.
I'm sorry, but I'm being as sincere as possible, you know? Um, so there is no cure, and treatment focuses on managing symptoms. This is why I go to nature, right? And also through diet. I've been told by several intelligent people that I know and I looked into, and I'm reading constantly. Sure, they give me medication. I have to continue taking it because as long as I'm a police officer, I have to go on record that I am getting treatment for my problem, right? Because
Right.
I didn't have this
When you
before I went
started.
into the police office, right? A police officer. So they recommend cognitive behavioral therapy so you can talk about it and manage stress managing techniques. Okay, everybody knows I write poetry. Dr. Poetry. We do this right here. This is what we do. This is what we do at the Poetic Clinic, right? We write poetry, and we use it as a coping strategy, as a treatment option. That's how I see it. But what happens when even writing poetry is becoming a problem because now my brain fogs are getting in, they're catching in?
Right.
Well, I go right back to nature. What's been working for me is going in the green, like looking at trees, going outside. Is believe it or not, listening to the coquis. I know this because I have AC all around the house, so I don't get to hear the coquis every night unless I go to the sunroom where I have all my plants, and I could always see one of those beautiful creatures laying on one of my plants. Especially the aloe vera is very huge, and so if I go there, I could hear them, and I all of a sudden I didn't realize this was happening. By the way, I was just not noticing how calm I felt. Right,
How relaxed. Yeah.
relaxed, and being much more relaxed helps the headache, because once I get those headaches and those big migraines and this, forget it, it's a mess. So I will say, me, of course, get checked out, but start listening to some soothing sounds. Cookies work for me. May not work for you, but it works
Right.
for me. I'm very connected because it's native to the land. It's indigenous. So
I love it too. It's very peaceful. Like I told said before, I paid for the rainforest sounds and you can hear the coquis in the rainforest.
right.
It has to be the frequency that they're on. It has to be
Mm,
that frequency because it is very soothing. I don't understand how it could be annoying to anybody because this is stuff that calms you down.
right. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love listening to it. I'm gonna play an audio, Granny.
Okay.
Um, it's it was written one day when I couldn't. I felt like I was gonna die when I wrote this. I'm not
I
kidding.
bet.
This is an example of me going to poetry when I'm in the worst pain in the world. I I really couldn't feel it. Here we go. So it came into my life, disrupting the order, my order, widespread pain, fatigue, moody, can't even get to sleep. Amplified painful sensations, something about my brain and the spinal cord seems like it's having some painful signals. No processing, you know? They say trauma, surgery, psychological stress causes this, but oh, it's so painful. And I'm just wondering how that pain could cut like a twisted knife. There's no metaphor that can capture that. I feel. And I'm supposed to continue fighting on because, I'm Wonder Woman. Got a heart of steel. But this is like poison coursing through my veins. A hidden monster. And I get this feeling that it's trying to drive me insane. The agony is never ending. I mean, it makes me feel invisible, really. I'm not invisible, but the pain looks invisible. The pain is real. It's so real. And it's aching deep. And it's all I could possibly feel. And all these noises, loud noises, they pierce like a dagger's blow in the sunlight. Oh, I love the sunlight, but it blinds me. It blinds me. The light hurts my eyes, and it's a painful show. They say I'm blinded by stress, by my vision's a little blur, and this pain is like a dagger. It's so hard to endure. Fibromyalgia. It's a constant fight. It's called the invisible pain, and it's like a little thief in the night, A thief in the night. A thief in the night. And the torture I face, it's like someone's killing me again and again and again. And every sound, a dagger right through my heart. I feel the pain in the vein, and it's hurtful. And it makes me sad, I get down. 'Cause you gotta be Wonder Woman. It's like every sound, I keep saying it's like a dagger through my heart. And if someone's tearing my world apart, it's so evil.
Wow.
Oh.
It's, I mean, a lot of what you described kind of sounds like what I'm going through with dementia. Honestly, it's like that whole fog. Dementia is not just your mental state; it affects your entire body. And
Hmm.
I'm wondering if there's a connection. Because the
Uh,
way some of the things you've been telling us throughout this whole hear me out poetry process, you've discussed a few things here and there what you're going through, and I'm like, God, that sounds like what I'm going through. But mine is classified under here, so now I'm kind of curious. I wanted to look it up, but I don't want to do it while we're here alive. But I'm wondering, is there a connection there? Because this is very real. Your
well, the
pain,
thing about
it
it,
says nerves are firing
right,
off like crazy, so it's a very
is
real pain.
is neurological.
Yeah.
The spine and the brain, they work
Yeah.
together. Um, what I know in terms of what I've been reading, but more what I feel, I listen to my body. Um, what this triggered was for me to go get MRIs now because the the brain, it was hurting so much that I can't really before they would just do like a flare up. Like I would get a little pain and then,
Right.
I do all these massages and stuff like that and it'll go away. But now, whatever it is, and I say whatever because now what I've had to do is, I recently, I went and got myself an MRI and got all those things. And what is showing is that, um, there's something that's causing my pituitary gland to
Oh.
flatten. It's flattening.
Yeah.
And so it's flattening. So what's happening is there's also certain things that they have to zoom in now because there's certain things that are there that they're gonna try to find out what's causing it.
Right.
So what I'm saying is this is an isolated issue from fibromyalgia. I do not know if fibromyalgia causes. I really do believe that it has a lot to do with the vaccination.
Wow.
That's how I feel. I'm okay to say this. I'm not saying anything but what I experienced. When I was
Right.
vaccinated in 2020, no, I was vaccinated in 2021 with the COVID vaccination. I was vaccinated on my left arm. I still feel from time to time that there's an injection going in on this very place where I was vaccinated.
Wow.
I've been saying that since the day I was vaccinated. Um, I also know that fibromyalgia became worse after that vaccination. I also know that my blood pressure rises to the point of stroke.
Wow.
I also know that my test results do not point to having any bad cholesterol or
Right.
hypertensive. It's like I'm not someone who, eats a lot of junk or anything. And I
Right.
say this because I do believe it has a lot to do with the side effect of that. I am not here as Dr. Poetry. I'm not here to overthrow the government or try to tell everybody to go rush
No.
and go get treated. What I am saying is that for me, I've noticed a difference ever since I've been vaccinated. I've noticed that the visits to the hospital for major headaches, palpitations, blood pressure rising, which I never had that problem, because of the pain that I'm getting. It's painful. People say, "Oh, it's emotional." Well, yeah, because pain is an emotion. The fact that
Right.
I go into a hospital and they give me something for the pain, and then the blood pressure goes way back down, says that it's the pain that's causing this. So, it's nothing. Now, what am I doing? I'm drinking white pine needle tea. I am grounding.
Mm.
I walk on the grass. I try. I call it the blue green therapy, Granny. Blue for the water. I watch the water. I'm in a unit where water surrounds me. I live on an
Right. It's
island,
very
so
peaceful.
it's very peaceful. I look at the sky. I look at the trees. Now I hug a tree. I feel the charges. All that stuff I do.
It's all energy.
I am doing that. Plus, I haven't been so disciplined in this area, and I'm being honest in terms of the food.
Hmm.
I have to get better at that. You know, I've been trying to let go meat. I haven't done so. I sometimes do like 30 days and then sometimes I go back to eating it. Why? Because I notice the inflammation goes away. Milk.
Oh,
Milk causes
yeah.
inflammation. Yet I drink turmeric. I'll drink ginger. I'll have all these little green teas and stuff that I make from my own little plants. So that helps. But this whole thing that showed up on my MRI recently is a totally different situation. At least that's what I'm being told.
Right,
I
right.
feel like all of this is coming from um, the vaccination. That's just how I feel.
I believe you because I've heard other people say similar things after they got I got vaccinated too. Like I did the full vaccination, the re-up, everything because of my job.
My
It's
job too.
required.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
when you work in certain fields where you're
It's
encountering all the
mandated.
people, yeah, it's mandated. So I got it, and of course, if I got it, I had to get it for Sunshine so he could go to school.
Right.
But I have heard from quite a few other people that I know personally that have gotten it that said the same thing. They still feel it on the arm. They have weird stuff happening to their body. So I don't
Electrical
I don't
stuff.
I don't discredit it at all. Luckily for me, I haven't had any extra stuff happening. I can't
Mhm.
tell if it's happening to Sunshine or not, to tell you the truth. Would I
Right.
ever take it again? Hell no.
Oh
But
no. No. I
because
uh-huh.
because of all the things I've heard and your story too, like it makes sense to me. The
Mhm.
pituitary gland, now you said something about that and it being flat. My daughter, who's also about your same height, she had same issues, and now
Mhm.
it has caused other issues in her body. So you have to be very, very aware, and it's good that you're getting checked. I'm very happy that you're getting checked because we can't play around with this audience. If you
Yeah.
feel, you know, in your video, your first video you put where you're putting on the uniform and you're like, you're pretending like you're not in pain, but you have to put that, you know, I'm a cop face on. And I have to do it too sometimes, and it's one thing to pretend that you're not in pain when you're really in pain, but audience, you still have to go get checked.
You have to
That
get
that's
checked.
that's the main thing. Go get checked. Figure out what's going on. The
Eat
worst the
fruits.
worst that can happen is you find out what's happening. And you if you catch things early enough, you can get them reversed or controlled or eliminated.
Right.
So the earlier you can go do that. So I'm very happy that you did that. And I'm really hoping for the best outcome in the end because
Thank
it's
you.
scary stuff. And as women, we get older, things are happening to our body anyways, but
Absolutely. But the
control
interesting
what you can control.
right, no, and I'm very, very healthy for being,
Yeah, you're
I'm very
beautiful.
healthy. Thank you. No, I'm very healthy with blood and everything. It's just what's showing up. Which first of all, I'm a strong believer in it is what you say it is. So
Right.
I do believe I don't believe I know I'm an empress. I know I'm an empress because my body is an empire. I speak to my cells. I command them. I'm the empress of this empire, and I'm constantly telling it to heal.
Right.
And it's one of those things where I say, okay, this is what you're showing me. This is what's happening. Well, I'm already healing, and I'm already gonna get healed. As a matter of fact, I know it's gonna happen. So I
There you
speak
go.
affirmations. I really do. I'm really big on that. Now I cannot lie to you. When I went and they showed me when they explained to me what's going on with me in the
Oh, you're
brain.
gonna have, yeah, you're gonna be sad a little bit.
I, I wasn't so much sad because I work, Granny, I mean it. I'm one of them people like, okay, so what do we have to do? You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean?
No, that I get too.
I'm
Now
one of those
that's where I'm
people.
at in my stage. Like,
I'm
okay,
like,
well,
no,
what's next?
I don't, because a person who's had 15 surgeries has seen a lot. So
Right.
it's like, oh, this what I got now? And I know it's kind of weird for folks. Now, at times, yeah, I get scared because sometimes when I go to sleep, I wonder if I'm going to wake up.
Yeah.
So I command, I go back to saying I'm gonna wake up in the morning, thank you, and I start doing little things. The cookies are helping. I'm telling you, they're helping because I'll be on the phone, and especially when I'm on the phone with Debs, like sometimes we're hearing the cookies and I'm hearing them, and I don't even realize they're chirping so loud because they're soothing. It's like a
Right.
So what's happening is, okay, this is very interesting, y'all. I'm gonna say this really quick. Why I think the vaccination did something, it triggered electrical things that are sometimes I'm sitting here and I feel electricity all over my body. I feel electrical stuff going on with my body, right? So I was at first thinking, Granny, oh, I'm ascending, right? I've reached I'm like, whoa, I feel it. But then
You're like, it's
because the
happening.
heightened it's happening to me, I'm really ascending. This is really good for me. But then I started, and then I also know, I happen to know that when your brain starts hurting you like that, like, I happen to, in the
Right,
spiritual side, they say, you're reaching a different level because you're reading a lot. You're aligning yourself with
right.
something, with a higher self, right? And I know I can't really speak on that right now because I don't want to take away from the show, but my mind is really always trying to stay on the positive side. I can't stress that enough. Oh, that's happening. All right, I'll get it out of my way. If I gotta say a few curses and stuff, and be like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah," and then you see me like, all right, what do we gotta do next? I want to move forward. That's really what I do. But the brain lately has not allowed me to do. It's like it's almost kind of like something's pressuring. So what they zoomed in and they saw that yes, there's something going on with the pituitary
Put to
gland
it. Yeah.
again, because it has saw it before, but they didn't really say anything, and it showed up again, and it's flattening. That affects the endocrine system.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I'm happy that we caught that and that they're gonna fix. It's gonna get fixed.
Right, right.
I'm gonna be all right. Like I know I'm gonna be fine. I know that they're gonna go for another. They're gonna go now. We're gonna get an MRI for the pituitary. They're gonna go in a lot more deeper to see what is it, what's causing it. Make sure there's no abnormalities or anything. You know. So with all that being said, the fogs are the one is the thing. It doesn't the difference between going like you mentioned dementia, and I believe the foggy side of fibromyalgia is that I forget certain things, but it's not like I forgot when I was a child. It's not
Right.
like it's this is more like something's crushing me and interrupting my stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's almost like I'm reading this, but my brain is blurry. It's like a cloud in my brain. It's clouding me up. So I also looked into diet. There's a lot of things. Meat does that to you, right?
Oh, wow.
Meat does that to you. This is why I'm letting go because I know the difference between it feels good when you eat all veggies because then you're like, wow, I stopped the sugar. I remember sugar when I went on that sugar
I gotta
thing.
stop
Remember?
the
Do you
sugar.
remember? Do you
Yeah,
remember
I
the sugar that
remember.
I stopped eating the
Mm-hmm.
sugar? I was all over the place. I was having these downloads, these uploads. I was like, oh man, Granny. So the fog. I started eating the donuts again. I started eating the little cakes and the little stuff. So with that fog situation, I know you have something that you roll call thick
Mm-hmm.
fog, right? I
Yes.
want to be able to play that. I'm excited. I'm excited because I've heard this before, and I think it's so necessary for some of us to hear this. Um, I'm excited, Granny. Let's just
Appreciate it.
play this right here. Um, and here it goes.
Thick fog. Those days hit like freight trains when a cartoon's enough to open the floodgates. Heavy flow, raw rivers running, crying for faces you'll never meet, for pain you'll never own. Silence slices through the room, cuts sharper than words, leaves you breathless, chest tight. That sorrow, so raw, so dull, you bury it. But damn it, that sting, it lingers, it sits heavy, a shadow waiting in the wings. Speak it out, spill it in lines. But no matter how you lay it bare, this thing, this weight, It never moves out. It hides, lurks behind your healing, waiting for the moment you exhale. When you think it's safe to live again, it shakes you, breaks you, knocks you back into yourself again, and you're fighting to keep your head above the fog when those thoughts you can't even trust. What the hell are you even doing? Forgetting who you are, where you are. Lucky if you remember your name. Your soul cries when your voice can't. Flood your eyes when your lips stay closed. Time cruises by. It doesn't care. Not for your pain, not for your wandering. And then suddenly, the switch flips. Lights come on. You function. You smile. You mask up. Snap that thing tight. Mama mode. Pretending nothing's breaking beneath. I've walked through fears. I've been left bleeding, broken, and still found the strength to stand. But this thing, this monster growing inside, it covers me, creeps through my ribs, ties up my insides. It leaves me wandering, caught in the not knowing. And then I snap out like I always do. But I look down to see my face, tears streaming, not even knowing why. My fist may no longer fly, but this battle is to keep my mind. I'm Granny Wowzes, and this is Thick Bob. There it goes. Yeah, you're still on mute over there. But yeah, that's pretty much. I know about the fog. Only my fog, like I put in the piece, is I get lost. Like
Yeah.
I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm lost, and I've gotten. I hate to say it, but audience, I've been telling you all the truth. Just like Dr. Poetry is giving you her truth about what we're going through, and hopefully this helps somebody out there. When I
Absolutely.
when I get lost, I could be standing in my kitchen. I've been in this apartment for 5 years, and I've been lost in my kitchen a few times. And it's not a big kitchen; it's a very small kitchen. But I'll stand there, and it's more than just I forgot something or forgot while I went in there. I'm there. I don't recognize anything that I see around. I don't know where I'm at. And
Mm,
I'm like, I can't explain it other than a panic. I feel severe panic because I don't understand why I'm in this place. And it takes a few minutes to come back. So the best way I can explain it is to say I'm lost. But they
mm,
consider that a fog,
okay.
like a
I
brain
can see
fog.
that.
So that's why I was like, I wanted to know more about yours because I
Yeah.
was like, yeah.
Honestly, they weren't so bad. There were times where I was having trouble remembering what I read. Like it was weird.
Hmm.
And I remember folks telling me, Izzy, take it easy, don't be so hard on yourself. There's a lot of information you're covering, especially when I was diving into a lot of information out there that I was not
Right.
exposed to in the past. So it was so much that when I read, I'm pretty like I visualize everything, I see it, I feel it. Yet I had just finished reading, and then all of a sudden I would forget what I read. I'm like, what the hell was going on? And that has a lot to do with, um, not being centered.
Right.
I really truly believe that. I think a lot of your energy, if you're not, and I'm, I don't claim to be any guru or a chakra specialist or anything like that, but I do
No, but
know,
you're
I
living
know who
through
I
it.
am. I
Yeah,
know who I
you're
am.
this is
I
your journey in which you're living through, so it's your truth.
Right. I know who I am in terms of how I see energy, how I feel energy. As a child, I've always been I have this level of discernment as a kid, and it has amplified as I got older, especially with energy and that fight and flight thing. You know, one of the things that we have to have, uh, we have to be mindful about the trauma that we faced, right?
Right.
A lot of trauma, a lot of fight or flight. I've been on fight or flight since I was a child, right? I
Mhm.
saw a lot of things, like many of us. I'm not going to sit here and be boo-hooing all day. I'm just going to say that there's a lot of things that we, we've all been through stuff. Somehow it has never stopped. I've always been ready to go, ready to go, ready to go, fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. Um, Having all those surgeries that we talked about, many different ones in my stomach, and we're not talking just a little scratch here. We're talking about
No.
intestines and
Yeah.
tumors, and here I am standing. I'm here to say I'm very grateful. I thank God. Thank God, thank the universe, thank everything that's kept me here. I have purpose. There's a reason why I'm still here, right?
Right.
And if anybody looked at me, you would never think that there was something that I ever
No.
went through, and I have been through the walk of death or anything like that. Yet I'm here to share that I command. When I say get up, even if it looks like I'm not supposed to get up. If I say, I talk to myself. I really do. I really talk to my like I said, my cells. I've overcome cancer. I've overcome a lot of things, little everything,
Hey,
and
I
I'm
I be
grateful. And I'm grateful for that. Yet,
I
this is
believe it.
another challenge. This is another one. This is another one that's on my plate right now. And I'm just like rolling up my sleeves and I'm saying, okay, so what, I gotta be a little bit more disciplined. I have to start being a hard-headed person and say, you're not supposed to be drinking milk. You're not supposed to be eating sugar. You're not supposed to eating meat because first of all, if nature doesn't make it, don't take it. And I was having this conversation with Def yesterday about even makeup. I get makeup sent to me in a box because I'm trying to avoid putting any type of things like animal on my body,
Oh, yeah. No, no,
right?
I pay
Yeah,
very
I'm
close
really,
attention to that too, so yeah, I
putting
feel
on
you.
lotions and creams, and I pay attention. I'm making sure I'm not putting no baby brain on my skin. All
Like
that's I'm
yeah.
not the one. I'm not the one. I'm telling you. But still, with all that, Granny, I'm still having this kind of this little situation that I got going on with the brain, right? So what I've done is I remember someone had gave me a list of things. I forgot who it was, and they gave me a list of things that I can do. It was a coworker as well from work, and had a group of people telling me, you took the vaccination. This is what you do, not to try to reverse, right? Because you're gonna get all these different things. People are kind of like dying, getting all these different things they never had before. Now I get we age, I get that,
Right,
but I do believe the genes in my family are pretty strong. My mother's had 4 strokes and she's standing and she's making jokes. You saw her.
right.
And she's doing what she's not supposed to do. She's smoking
And
cigarettes
yeah,
with an oxygen mask.
and
I
having
mean,
the
with an
best
oxygen
life
tag.
she's ever had.
And she's just happy. She's doing what
Right.
she's just,
Just
well,
living herself.
whatever. She forgets. She has dementia. She drives me crazy sometimes, because I worry about her. But fight or flight, fight or flight. This is why I keep trying to say that I'm saying this, but I'm a police officer. When people tell me, you just got to reduce your stress. How do
Yeah,
you do that as a
like,
police
excuse
officer?
me.
How
Yeah.
do you And
I
so that's like
I
so
feel
I'm
that.
not prepared to have a I can't have a certain conversation right now because I am doing some stuff with the police department in terms of
Right.
reevaluating. And so once all that is being done, I will definitely give you that side of the story of how the challenges I'm facing as an officer with fibromyalgia,
I can
and
imagine.
all those things.
Yeah.
Um So what I'm gonna say is that there was a time when I came home and I started writing about fight or flight because I felt like things were just everyone knows poetry is my therapy. It's been my therapies as a child. So this one I wrote, you guys heard this before. I think it's so appropriate to present right now. It's called Fight or Flight.
Yay.
I'm frozen to the bone. That's what the psych says. He says my heaviness and darkness is in my soul. He says I'm cold and I'm cold, but he's wrong. I am a soul. So this one's for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and it'll go away, but it's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling and smiling all along, singing to the wrong song. But today, it's a new day, and we control our fate. This one's for the fighter on fight or flight mode. When you're wondering how to regulate your highs and your lows, we are living in constant state of stress, conditioned to the rush of the arousal, conditioned to addiction, to the emotion, not being able to control the outcome, because we can't predict our future outcome, but we on threat or danger in this outer and inner world we can't see. We're living with TDC, threat, duress, and coercion. We feel the suffocation, so some of us, we turn to meditation, avoiding that detrimental medication. It's like we feel this overwhelming lack of patience. We do realize they want us to be the perfect patient. It's our brain and body not in homeostasis. This one is for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and we know it will go away, but it's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling and smiling all along, singing to the wrong songs. But today, it is a new day, and we control our fate. Fight or flight affects our nervous system. Enormous energy and resources are placed on the wrong images and mindsets. Our organism perceives danger, alternating a rush of adrenaline. Fight or flight, my heart rate increases, my energy decreases, pupils dilate, salivary juices can't control my respiration. Time to fight. Time to hide, unbalanced, seeking to regenerate. But today I continue to speak to the fighter in me, no longer in solitude, but living in gratitude. No need of fight or flight, just taking it a bit easy. Truly receiving the joy in my life, my joy for existence, having appreciation, celebrating my kindness when I know we all can change the way we think. Fight or flight, I speak to my body, my environment, and I'm kind to my time. No need to get back to the familiar or the highly analytical, over-focused state, just changing the scenario. And I never realized my addiction to my state of fight or flight. I was addicted to a life I didn't even like. Whether it was a relationship, despicable relatives, that cutthroat coworker, I was addicted to a life I didn't even like. I say rise, speak up, be brave, don't let no one ruin your day. No one ruin your life. It's your life. You change your fate. So this one's for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and I know it'll go away. It's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling all along, singing to the wrong songs. But today is a new day. We control our fate. I'm Dr. Poetry, and you're not alone. Fight or flight. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that. I know a thing or two about that.
You
A
already
fighter,
know.
yeah.
Fight or flight.
Um,
Because we take all our trauma, all the things we've done, and we say, and then especially in the culture, like,
oh yeah,
being Boricua, we're supposed to, especially the women are supposed to be very strong. We're supposed to be strong. You're not supposed to be crying. What are you doing crying? And I hate when I cry because once I start crying, when the waterworks start happening, ooh, they
yeah,
can't stop. I can't stop crying because I don't cry a lot, but when I do cry, it'll last like 2 days, and I gotta get over it. And I give myself 2 days to get over whatever it is. It's like a feeling, it'll go away. I keep telling myself it's a
yeah.
feeling, it'll go away. You're gonna be all right. You know.
Oh, unfortunately, I did the wrong thing with my girls, but it was done to me first, and that's not an excuse. But I used to tell them, "You can't cry. You're a woman. Women don't cry. Women endure. We take
Right.
it all on and we endure. Men cry. Men. That's why you hear the men whining over there. Don't do that, audience. Don't do that. That's not the right way to tell your kids to be, because
No.
but that's the way we were raised, and like you said, it's a cultural thing, but it goes across a few cultures that are like that. The women
Right.
are the barriers of so
Yeah.
much pain, and we still, hi honey, how are we doing?
Right. Right.
It's just one of those things that it's natural for us. We're the caregivers, we're the this there's so much weight on a woman that when they do feel the pain,
Hmm.
they're in pain. If they
Right.
tell you, hey, something's wrong, there is
Yeah.
something wrong. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's neurological. But like you
Neurological.
said, thank you.
Neurological.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's that or if it's, whatever it is, they're still physically feeling it. Whether their mind is telling them and the pain sensories are shooting off, it's
Hmm.
still something they physically feel. You can't tell them that they don't feel this and this is all in their head,
Right.
because the body is reacting to whatever it is that's shooting off in your brain. So it is a
Yeah.
real thing. Yeah. So yeah. So,
It's I feel like it's, energy is, you feel the electricity. So
mhm.
it's like, this is why I feel the charges, like I feel it being charged up when it's a sense of healing when I'm on the grass and I'm walking, especially in the ocean. Oh my God, in the
Oh, I
ocean
love the
is where
water.
that's it for me. As
Yeah.
I'm a
I
true
love the water.
Aquarius. I'm a true mermaid, man. I go in there and I don't want to get out, because of the spasms and the stuff that happens sometimes with the fibromyalgia. I can't swim like I used to swim out there. I could
Right.
swim,
But you
however,
can't do it
the
the way you
risky,
were.
yeah, it's risky because coming back. Oh, when I went, when my family is in town, I'm like, "Ooh, I'm in there. Let's go to the deep. Let's go over the where we're not supposed to go." Like, I'm
Right.
terrible. Let's
You
just go
you
all the way
think
out there,
you think you're
right?
20 again, and you have
Oh,
to
I.
remember, now.
That's what I mean. My energy is like I still have that energy, and I thank God
Mhm.
for it.
Yeah, you are blessed. You
Yeah,
have the
thank you,
youthfulness in the body, and you really are blessed.
thank you.
But
But
it's
still,
natural. The body's
right?
gonna come to points where it starts to come down, and we have to face it. You could be the healthiest person. Dr. Poetry just said she's very healthy, and as you can clearly see, she looks very healthy. But
Hmm.
there's even
But
those
no
that
one
are
knows
very
the
healthy
pain that we
still have,
have
yeah,
when
it
we're
still
stuck
comes
there.
through. And
That's it's
unfortunately,
stuck.
a lot of
Yeah.
women go through more pain. And I'm
Hmm.
not saying that guys don't go through pain and hide it, because guys got that machismo thing where it's like, oh, I'm okay. I don't need a doctor. I'm okay. But
They
women
do.
women can take on a lot more pain before they actually show it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
when they show it, something's really wrong.
yeah.
When you
I
could
I, I love
physically
that.
see it, something's
Hmm.
wrong.
I love
And
that you
yeah,
point that out. I love that, Granny, that you're pointing that out because we we use makeup, and I don't mean this. I mean the makeup that we
right,
put on is smile. That's my
right.
favorite. That's my favorite makeup, like my smile. And
Hmm.
I could be really like in pain, and you see me going, yeah, sure, no problem. And I'm in pain. I've had
Yeah,
many shows here that I've done
I
that weren't
run in
right.
pain. I've worked on big old buses in pain. Yeah, I
Hmm.
get it, and it really is painting on that smile. You're
Hmm.
like, you wake up in the morning and you feel it already coming before it even hits you. You can already feel the signs. Your body tells you signs, and then you're
Of
like, oh
course.
man, what is this going to be like today? I can feel
Yeah.
it happening, but the minute you have to turn it on, and what I mean by turn it on is like you that smile, like it's time to turn it on. I'm the actor in the day.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I could see that in that video. I'm going back to your video of you in the uniform. That was so powerful to me because you could see the steps and
Hmm.
the things that you're going through. So
Hmm.
it would really bother me if somebody said, it's in your head.
Oh
Just
yeah.
change your ways of thinking.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me, no, you could
Well,
physically see it.
they'll use microaggressions like saying the minute, okay, so I could speak on this part right here.
Hmm.
When I approached the medical doctor of the police department, and he's aware because they have files on you, right? They have
Right.
the files and everything. So when I went there to let them know if there's a way that I can adjust my belt, that I don't have to carry so many things. Notice I'm not asking to sit me down. I was just saying, look, the vest is too much. Can we work something out? Can I start getting a different vest that goes in that I don't have to carry? Like there's
Hmm.
ways of working things out. Couldn't even do that. And he was like, the first thing he says is like, well, you have fibromyalgia. Did you go see the psychologist?
Oh wow.
I said,
That's
why would I
another
see the psychologist if I have physical pain?
oh,
Like, you're
wow.
not listening.
Mm-mm.
It's I have pain. Like, it's not in my head. So it's a way of saying it's, and he's like, no, no. I said, and he says, because that's what it's linked to. I said, it's also linked to to numerous surgeries. If you had numerous surgeries and not like,
Mhm.
we're talking numerous surgeries, okay, you're proud, you're gonna get fibromyalgia
Yes.
somehow. Now, you have to heal, right? And you have to heal emotionally too. And I
Right.
get it's emotional. I get that part. I've done the therapy. I know exactly. I've had plenty of poetry. If anyone listens to Unborn, speaks to what I had to overcome when
Yeah,
I
that is
lost the
a beautiful
ability to
poem,
have
yeah.
children. That's one. I talk about family tree, the traumas that went on in the family.
Mhm.
I talk about that domestic violence, watching my mom, that beautiful lady go through a lot. I saw that as a child, watching, substance abuse in relatives, a
Right.
lot of things. I'm not going to sit here and just talk about my family. I'll just say that things happened. I knew they happened. I was a first responder at the age of 3 or 4, and I did what I could do. And I've always managed to try to keep myself occupied, like, oh, let me go to work, let me go to school, let me do this poem, let me clean my room, because I'm trying not to focus on negativity. If I
Right.
continue to cultivate in that lower issue, the trauma, well, what would I become? So this is why I was like, no, I gotta do this because I'm not gonna have time. Oh, really? They did that to me? Oh, watch me just be working much harder now. You're just gonna make me want to
Mhm.
work harder. You're not gonna break me. I'm really big on the warrior spirit. I have that.
Right. Y
Yet sometimes you wonder, like I said this before, it feels like something's trying, and I'm gonna go to this poem really quick. There's a poem, there's an expression, there's like a spoken word that I'm speaking of psychosis. It's called psychosis
Mhm.
because you feel like an energy is trying to come for you. It's
Right.
trying to come for you. They trying to put you on meds. You're not feeling good that day. It's one of those days where you're like, you're so down and now you crying. You can't figure it out because you're like, all right, God, put the pause button on. Okay, I've done the 15 surgeries. I have had the divorce. I've had,
Right.
yeah, I don't have children. Like, what else are you gonna? What's going on? What am I doing? What's the lesson here? What am I supposed to learn from all this stuff? I don't want it.
Right.
I'm tired of everybody saying, "Oh man, you're so strong." I don't want to hear all that. I'm tired of that. And I'm writing about this that we're talking about now. And I'm saying to myself, sheesh, why? They're trying to take away my intellectuality. They even trying to take away my ability to study. Like, I remember I was trying to study and it was like these little, I call it the little cockroaches in your head. When you start listening to the cockroaches in your head, like, why are you even doing this? Nobody cares about your poetry. You know what? You're wasting your money. You're wasting your time.
Yeah.
They don't really care about your poetry. She's being evil. And you start and you kind of, because you've seen so much in people. Remember, I do this for a living. I see the worst in
Yeah.
people. I see the worst in people. And every day I gotta come home, rewire, and say life is still great.
Whew, I know that feeling. I
So I
I
so
mean, 'cause
mhm,
even in, dealing in counseling, you're taking everybody's energies, everybody's
right.
emotions, and all their and being an empathic person too,
Empath.
hearing all of this stuff coming through, like, I felt your pain just watching your video,
Right.
I was like, "Ooh, ooh, I can feel
Yeah.
that heaviness at the belt." So I'm listening to people tell me what they're going through and what they're struggling
Oh,
through. All
yeah.
of that comes here too, and guess what they do to me just like they did to you? "Oh, just gotta let it go."
Well, in reality, they're not lying. It's how they're
Right,
saying it. It's
but
how they're saying it
it's
because we
more
do
to
have
it.
to let it
There's
go
more
so
to
that
that. You
right,
can't just go, "Okay, I'm gonna let it go. Boop. Oh,
right.
it's gone."
No,
No, there's
work.
a process.
Yes, yes. We got to work on letting it go so it can flow, so we can grow. I really truly believe that. It's not what they're saying, it's how they're saying it. I can't turn around to some woman a
Right,
civilian, who's just telling me that, whatever, telling me one of those issues that I go through at work. I'm listening, I'm seeing people get arrested, I'm seeing people do bad things, and I look at them and they're crying. The same people, I got to protect the rights of someone committing a crime, a criminal. Let's talk about it.
right.
And I'm still I'm still respecting that. I'm still not treating them like they're not a human. And you said the energy is very transferable, right? So every
Yes.
day I got to put this imaginary Vaseline that slides that all over my body, that all that negativity is going to slide off of me, and I have a shield that I created in my name. And I'm like, I'm going to walk in here, like, even when I go to court to testify here and there, I'm going to say what I got to say, knowing, trusting that I'm not getting that ugliness coming into me. I shake it
Right.
off. I shake it off. That's how you shake things off. Um, so when people say, "Girl, let it go," um, i- you got to take it like, where is it coming from? You know what I mean? You got to
Right.
let it go. So it's easier said than done. You're right,
It really
absolutely.
is.
But that is the goal. The
Yes.
goal is to let it to be water,
Right.
to be water, to let just be water. You know. All right. This is psychosis, y'all.
Okay.
Most of the time, I try to remain in peace. I'm reminded that we are all children of the universe and we have a right to be here. And there are times I'm feeling very, very broken. I was in tears, my eyes were swollen, couldn't figure out my sudden development of emotions. Was it the medication? Am I running out of patience? I was questioning my own existence. My thoughts were lost and they're losing their color. My pockets are no longer filled with sunshines and rainbows. It felt like someone, something smacked my hand right off the knob as I was trying to change my own frequency. And no longer having control of managing my highs and my lows. Someone, something was striking me, hitting me below the belt. At least that's what I felt. I was reading the 0%, the torch, Economy, think like a monk. Somehow, the low vibrational waves of sadness were forcing me into a repugnant funk. Turning the volume way low as I play sensual music like Sabrina Claudio. I walked on the grass trying to recharge and I'm grounding, but this feels like drowning in quicksand. I want to tear my bachelor's degree and my master's in criminal justice, criminology, badges in the sewer, because I want to return to a time where I didn't know all that I know now, and having the chances of this psychosis where few of the side effects was whispering, I'm here to remove your intellectual character, your power. I'm hanging on to a string, contemplating if I belong or should I move on. And I move on. There's someone or something though is trying to strip me emotionally naked. And I'm off, I'm on, yet I study. I can't hear the Morse break down all the contracts and treaties. How I love to study and review with my beloved Morse, but someone is attempting to take away my melody, my sensuality, ability to examine pertinent information, yet is trying to invade my intellectuality, my quality, my state of being. I feel like it's creeping, attempting to devour my well-intention, taking over my vocal cords, playing with my sentences, rearranging my words to keep me from spreading peace and light. But I'm Dr. Poetry, and I am reminded of my atoms, my electrons, my neurons, and they will always win. I'm a winner, the empress of my cellular empire. Return to sender the diabolic, malicious intentions of these entities multiplying for the sole purpose to finance agendas, keeping we lost. And I remain positive in a negative thought process. Yes, someone, something is attempting to silence my purpose, my greatness, my encouragement of realizing and accepting the painful awakening. I am enough. When I lack understanding of so many harsh realities, I'm reading Black Nobility. The horrors of these malicious surnames and families controlling every inch of humanity. My spirit can't bear to read. Oh, I feel better, yet I transformed the energy meant to destroy me. Instead, it erudited me. A curse turned into a blessing. I call that alchemy. I'm Dr. Poetry, and I didn't call you. So don't come for me. I'm reminded we are all children of the universe. We have a right to be here.
I didn't call for you, so don't come for me. We're all children of the universe, so we have a right to be here. I love it. I love it. Snaps out to you. Because, I mean, if this wasn't put it in your face, this is what's going on. But I'm Dr. Poetry, so I got to pretend everything's a-okay. I get it. I get it. It's the same. You're on mute, but it's the same deal. Like in my song, I say I gotta grab my son's slip-on shoes every day. I go meet him at the bus. It doesn't matter if I was just boohooing my eyes and my eyes were
Right,
swollen. I grab those shoes. I meet him at the bus. Hi, sunshine. We had a good
right.
day today. And then you go on about your day. I can just imagine being a police officer.
Yeah,
You
I mean, when I said, but I'm Dr. Poetry, when I say that, it's like a wake up,
know,
like, what are you doing? You're Dr. Poetry.
right.
Meaning
Like you gotta
not that I'm
get
the
it
shit,
together.
more right.
No, it has
Not that
nothing to
I'm
do
the
with
shit
that.
or that I'm trying to, I'm just, I'm full of myself,
No.
like,
Yeah.
on my chest. No. What that means is that I heal myself with my
Right.
poetry. Poetry allows me to process what I don't understand. When I'm going through it, when I'm thinking, and I start writing and I look at and I hear I'm like, it heals me. It's like, what are you talking about? Wait, 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 wait. You went through all that, but guess what? You overcome 15 surgeries. You were put down to the ground, execution style with a
Right.
millimeter to your head.
Nothing's
You
wrong with
came through
reminding
that.
yourself.
You know what I mean? You came through.
Yeah.
You don't have children, but you
It's
show up for
nothing.
baby showers with a smile. Like
Right.
who? Like you are. You know what I mean? Like it's the ego is a great thing sometimes.
I
It's
don't know if
meant.
that's an
It's meant.
really an ego though.
No,
I
no.
think
I feel the ego speaks to you. The ego is meant for that. The ego
yeah,
was created to and again,
self-perseverance. Yeah.
this is for me. It reminds us when we're low. It brings you up. People
Right.
people who only operate on ego is definitely misusing the ego
Right.
because the ego got me out of a, like, of course, God and everything that's sacred. Yet when you start hearing yourself saying, I'm Dr. Poetry, that was the ego. To me, that was my ego. It was my ego saying, let go of the weaknesses that are clouding your mind right now. You are Dr. Poetry. You've overcome this, and you write about it and you help other people. You okay. You've made mistakes. It's all right. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna rise above any calamity, any situation, any chaos. You're gonna be fine. If you're sick, you're gonna be okay. It is what you say it is. If you confine it, then it will define you. I understand all that. This is why I was like, what are you talking about? You Dr. Poetry. Don't you hear my poetry? That's what I'm talking about. Like you can't be doing this and then write that. You know what I mean? You
Right.
can't speak out of both sides of the mouth. If you're Dr. Poetry and you're that person you're Izzy, you're that person that wants to empower folks, hear me out poetry. I created this to inspire, to help those inspire themselves. Be inspired by your own
Yeah.
story. Encourage yourself. But if you having trouble with that, we're gonna help you encourage yourself. We're gonna inspire you. We're gonna motivate you.
At least
That's
try
why
to.
we
Yeah.
created Hear Me Out Poetry. That's where I was at with it. You know,
Yeah.
so if I'm gonna be saying something's trying to get me, something it hit me below the belt, it's hurting me, but I'm Dr. Poetry, and I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah. I
That was
mean,
what that was about.
no, I felt that too because I do the same thing. I have to go in the mirror and be like, "Your
Brownie
mom,
Moses, your
turn it
mom.
on. We got to get it going. You got to turn it on. There's no more you right now. You're this person. So now
Right,
be it. You have to be
right,
this person." And I always tell other people too, it is like having separate characters. People say split personalities. I call them characters
right.
because each character has its role.
Hmm.
So one character is for the empathy, one character is to get you up and out of the bed and get you mowing and going for the day. The other one is like, you got this, pain and all, we're
Right,
going, so you have to do sometimes we have to do that. It's all one person,
right.
but
We're all
sometimes
one person.
there's different
I would
roles
think
that you
there's
gotta
different roles we play, and definitely
right.
a lot of people call them facades. I don't think so. I think there's
Mm-mm.
correct characteristics that we have. I wear many hats.
Yeah.
I'm Agent Acevedo. Dr. Poetry Isabella Bay. I'm my government name. You know,
Mm-hmm.
also the daughter. I'm the sister. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the poet, right? There's a lot of things that we do, and we address, we move accordingly to that, but we're all that same one being, because we have
Right.
that being within us, and that light that's within us that no one could take away from you. No one could take that away from you, no matter what is going on. And we have to remind ourselves.
Right.
So I'm okay when sometimes the ego knocks and says, "You're Dr. Poetry," or you've been successful. You've always, everything you set your mind to, you've been able to accomplish. You've gotten up from a bed that was supposed to, you were supposed to be buried. You gotta wait, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it wakes me up and I'm like, oh shoot, that's right. Don't forget who you are. That's why I love that part from The Lion King. Remember who you
Yeah.
are.
That's funny.
Yeah.
My little granddaughter's been texting me. She got a new kitten, so
Oh, she's the one
so
that like
you just said,
cats.
like the the Lion King, and
Hmm.
I'm looking down, and she just told me the cat's name is Jaws.
Oh, hey, it's shark season.
Right. But, it's just, it's funny little things like that in life, and
Yeah.
when you're going through stuff like your fibromyalgia and things, if you don't think you can write poetry,
Right.
I always tell people to document everything. It doesn't have
Me
to
too.
rhyme. It doesn't have to look
Hmm.
like poetry and be beautiful to everybody to, "Hey, look at what I wrote." It's for
Hmm.
you.
Right.
It's really is for you. Find a way to express what you're feeling and getting out.
Right.
And it's really good to encourage your children to find self-expressions too. What did I forgot who said this, but they said if you don't give a child an outlet, their outlet will become the attitude and the aggression that they present to the world.
Very
And
true.
and that's what happens to these mass shooters and things like that. So poetry is an outlet. And it, like I said, it doesn't have to rhyme. You don't ever
Not at
have to
all.
perform it.
No.
It's for you. It's
It's your
your sense
medicine.
of healing. Yeah.
That's right.
So, and that goes for when you're going through stuff like cancers and fibromyalgia and anything that's ailing to the body. You've got to express it some way, because if you keep it all balled up, what's going to happen when you get stuff that balls up?
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
explode.
You explode. Absolutely. I love that, Granny. Absolutely. You know, I'm gonna make a little joke right now for both of us
Okay.
because I thought about this. I was telling this. Def and I had like a laughing attack the other day
Oh
because
my gosh, I can
I,
imagine.
I was having a laugh attack because while we were presenting one of our new poems, right? One of our new, I call it our Floetic Echoes, right? I
Mhm.
had I was in the back laughing because I had like this joke came to my head. I was actually not feeling good that day, and I was really trying not to tell no one at all what was happening to me. I was doing these shows, but I was really, really not well. I was in the hospital. I did a lot of stuff
Right.
was going on with me, and
Right.
and I've been in and out doctor's appointments and stuff like that. Right now, someone's banging in over there, and I hear like they're banging in my ear. If you see me moving around, this is what I mean about fibromyalgia.
Oh,
So I don't know if you hear it, but
I don't hear it,
but
but
it
I know
sounds
you're
like
hearing it.
I'm hearing it, and I'm going like I'm moving because it's almost like a superpower. Like it's like
Yeah,
bionic. When I was a kid, I said I wanted to be bionic, but this is a joke. God, you're
the
really being
bionic
funny
woman.
because now I'm like, "Tu, tu, 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 tu." I'm hearing that banging some, and it's coming from like down there, and and I hear it right here.
No, I
I don't know.
earlier
Maybe the vaccination they gave me wasn't a vaccination. Maybe they just tapped it. I tapped into my higher self.
maybe
Hey,
you
I
got the
wouldn't be surprised.
placebo. I heard
Oh,
that they were giving people placebos and they weren't even really giving them the real vaccination.
hey, maybe I got it. Maybe they said,
So,
you know what? She's overcome so much. We do believe she has
oh
a
no.
superpower. Let's activate her power because I've had
Maybe
the
they were
power. We all
pumping
have the
people up
power.
with stuff. I don't know.
We all
But
have the power. But maybe they
that's funny.
I activated that power. Who knows, Granny? Who knows? All right. So back to the story. So we're over here talking about that I keep forgetting. I was telling him, my God, I can't believe I forgot that. Like I'm texting Def and in the back, and I'm like, I keep
Mhm.
forgetting these things. I'm having the fog, and then the song came on. I remember, and I started laughing because I said, that's the perfect. I knew I had to write that song because that
Mhm.
means I remember now. So it's for those of us who have brain fogs and we're talking about things and we're remembering. Granny, when you sing that, it has a totally different meaning now. Where did we leave the keys? Oh, I
You
remember.
remember? Yep. I was
I was like,
oh,
what was I
that's
gonna
funny.
say? Wait, what was I gonna say? I have a fog. Oh man, I forgot. I
I
remember.
remember.
And and I was laughing. I don't know. It could be cheesy. I'm a cheese nugget,
Can
but I was
imagine.
cracking up on my own. I was like, "Oh my God, Dev, that's the perfect song." I remember because we keep talking about like, especially speaking
Mhm.
with Bree. I was talking to Bree, and I was like, wait, what we were talking about?" So this is to just lighten the mood, y'all. It's not
I
the end
love
of the
it.
world, and this
Yeah.
is called "I Remember." Shout out to Def Poetry. All right.
There's something about this beat that keeps reminding me of my New York City dreams. I remember I was only 17, literally a dancing queen. Forever young, I thought I'll be. 'Cause I remember living rent free obsessively. I remember in someone's head never pretending to be. Oh, I remember someone I'm not that I choose to see. I remember I want my loving energy.
Yeah, dead in the middle of the boogie, we was younger playing hooky like Bonnie and Clyde, they better
I
book me.
remember.
Those were the days all fun and games, skipping the fair, catching the train to where it took me.
How I remember.
Step through the city in these Harlem nights, all the lights had me feeling like my game tight like Ray Rice with the Scarlet Knights. I used to roll the dice, gamble with my life with so many things I never thought
I
twice.
remember.
Tony Oz used to get mad from the block parties and the riff-raff, leaving all the trash in a gift bag, drop it off, leave it on the stoop while we ran off and laughed in cahoots. Off on the games till the gig is over, bumping Criminal Minded, the bridge is over. I remember the battle ciphers gathered in Crotona. In Africa, Bamada really showed us how to master the track. Not only that, but how to master your path. I could never break dance, but I mastered my craft. Getting my hands on paid in full was a classic to have. And the rhyme goes on, I perfected the jam, blending some jazz with some boogaloo. From one into another on the tables, yelling copy go. Remember, like it's out the blue, deja vu. This ain't a dream if it happened to you.
There's something about this beat that keeps reminding me of my New York City dreams. I was only 17, literally a dancing queen, forever young. I thought I'd be forever young. I remember it's the boogie down breeze, chasing after my favorite Mr. Saucy ice cream. I remember barbecues. Oh, how I remember. Orchard Beach. Yeah, I remember. There's something about this beat. I remember those block parties. Hip hop playing from the DJ speakers. Reminding about this beat that keeps reminding me. There's something about this beat that keeps reminding me. I remember. Boogie down breeze. Oh, how I remember. New York. Summer dreams in New York City.
I remember. I remember.
That's a
Man,
great song to clean your house to, by the way.
right?
Yeah,
There's
because
something about this beat that keeps
the
reminding me.
beat gets you going. The way you and Def collaborated in this piece alone is great. But then I find myself walking through the house like you're laughing over here. I'm laughing hard with you because I was like, I remember this goes here. I remember that goes there. And I'm just like bouncing through my house. And I'm sure if Sunshine could talk, he'd be like, something's wrong with my mom. My
No,
mom
like
is broken.
I love it. Granny, and the next time you can't find your car keys or something, just go. And then you remember, you go, I remember.
You know what? I probably will now too. 'Cause
Oh,
I'll be like, ah, I remember it's right over there. I put it next to the chair.
exactly. Man,
I could
we gotta love
totally
it.
see you and Defco and having a great time with that. That's so
I was
funny.
in there. I remember. Where did you put it over there? I think you put it on the because I remember.
Right.
Oh my Lord. All right. We have one more poem and then we out of here, y'all. But before we
Oh.
go, I'm definitely gonna do um a quick I wanna give you a highlight. All right.
Hmm.
I'm gonna present something here that
Mm.
that Def and I worked on that's going to be part of the Puerto Rican Day
Aw,
Parade panel that we got going on, the
I'm
Puerto Rican Day Parade
excited.
show. Uh, and this is like a quick commercial break, y'all. Y'all ready? It's
Yay.
called A Boricua's Creed.
Los colores de mi tierra son los colores donde la brisa se mezcla, tierra de Borinquen, con el sonido del donde nací, para hacer la danza que mueve nuestro es un jardín florido, ya vengo yo, de mágico primo, ya vengo yo, un cielo siempre nítido, le sirve de doce, y dan arrullos plácidos, las olas a sus pies, cuando a sus playas llegó Colón, exclamó lleno de admiración. Oh, 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 soy como el morrillo. Vengo yo, ya vengo yo. Cual linda flor de los campos que embellece mi país. Ya vengo yo, y si me ves por ahí, yo te brindaré mi encanto. Ya vengo yo, y si me ves por ahí, yo te brindaré mi encanto. Soy como el moribiri que muere y nace de nuevo. Típico como el coquí, como la yuca, la caña y el maíz.
Soy Barito, con mi machete amolao, desde Sidra su caballo montado. Somos boricuas representando en todos lados. Llegaste a la cena, arroz con bacalao. Los colores de mi tierra
Los colores de mi tierra
son los colores.
son los colores.
The colors of my island, the colors of my flag, the colors of my land. Coconut brown, blue green waters,
Coquí, coquí,
turquoise waves,
wey.
spiritual coquille,
Coquí, coquí,
green plantains with the yuca, green shades.
qué bonita
Tight bomba
bandera.
plena reminds us we are all blessed, we are all
Qué
free.
bonita
I
bandera.
hold my head up high, the colors of my land are deep within me.
Qué bonita
Land of
bandera.
happy
La
people,
bandera
people who are prosperous.
puertorriqueña.
Plantando bandera, my roots are very strong, no one can uproot them. I know who I am and where I come from. That's why I'm back in the land. The warrior red, the white for peace, the blue for our skies, the star representing the island. Don't forget the blue is for our ocean too. Los colores de mi tierra son los colores. Con mi frente en alto, voy cantando con la bandera en la mano. Dios, patria y libertad. El rojo guerrero azul por el mar y el cielo. La estrella representa Borinquen
Preciosas
y el
de
blanco
las
representa la victoria y la paz.
ciclos.
De donde soy y donde vengo, mis raíces son muy fuertes. Mi tierra de gente alegre, raíces que no se puede arrancar. Las islas donde gente ama de verdad. De ahí vengo yo, de ahí vengo yo.
Ya vengo yo, ya vengo yo. Preciosa te llevo dentro, muy dentro de mi corazón. I'm Dr. Poetry with Def Poetry. Del mar y el sol, del mar y el sol.
Is that you guys?
Yeah.
In the video, I mean, like the real. I know the cartoon animation part is you, but the real pictures, those look like you guys too. Like I was like, I can see Def with the flag around him.
He looks like super Puerto Rico.
But
I
it's
love it.
cute. I don't know. It
love
was
it.
so cute. I could
Thank
hear it
you.
still on my headphones when I got up to get a drink, and I'm in the kitchen like this.
Yeah, it was very loud.
It's
It's very
cute.
loud. I know that. I'm sorry. I should have
It's
given a
very
disclaimer.
cute.
Anybody with headsets is gonna be like, boom. No.
No, it works. It works because I could still hear it. But it was so cute. As soon as it started playing, I was like, "Oh, this is adorable."
A lot of those songs are really folkloric, national, really special songs about Borinque. They're very patriotic songs. So I kind of wanted to share that with the Poetic Clinic because, first of all, we're all family here. And
Right.
everyone knows that one of the reasons why I started Hear Me Out Poetry, aside from the fact that it heals, right? We talk about poetry healing us and helping us with to cope. Um, it helps me to cope too, to put a lot of attention to things that I want to see out there. I want to advocate, I want to embrace, and also bring a lot of awareness to Borinquen, right? There's a lot of things that are not mentioned about the island, and I've been living here for over 20 years. Um, my grandparents are buried here, so this is where we're from. And so as long as I'm still alive, you're gonna always see that little Puerto Rican flag everywhere. And also shout out to the Moors, and we are all Moors. I believe in that. So not believe in that. That sounds like a religion. I still honor the universal principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, uh, love, truth, peace, and freedom and justice. Right? I believe in that.
Right.
And so when I write, or when I speak of Borinquen, we talk about the whole indigenous. We talk about everything.
I love it.
I have not even begin. I have. We have not. We haven't tapped into so many things that we are going to be tapping into very soon. Um, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad you did.
I
Uh,
did.
we will be having a wonderful show June 8th here at the Hear Me Out Poetry. I know Nettles called Hear Me Out Poetry Productions. I kind of like the way that sounds, Nettles. But Hear Me Out Poetry Productions, right? We're gonna have
He's
that.
so
And what?
he's
Yeah,
so funny.
he's funny. And what in the Borinquen is going on here, with Deaf Poetry, Breed Talks, and we have several guests that may be on the show. So stay tuned, y'all. It's gonna
I
be there
love it.
on
I love
June
it.
8th on Sunday. All right,
I
Granny,
got I got a special shout out before we go.
please let's go.
June 3rd is my eldest daughter's birthday, and she
Hey,
is turning 34. Yes, I'm that old, people, and I don't care.
she looks beautiful. She looks beautiful. Look at
34. She'll be
I
34 June 3rd. So
shout out
I have
to her.
to say happy birthday,
Happy birthday. What's
the
her name?
little
Oh no,
her name is I call her Junie because she's born in
Junie.
June. So I'll give you her nickname. Yeah, I call her Junie.
Junie. Happy
Junie.
birthday. Happy solar return, Junie. Feliz cumpleaños. Sending you
Thank
mad love.
you.
Lots of love to you. Yes.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, y'all, listen, we have one video and then we got to get out of here. So before we play this video, Granny, any shout outs other than happy birthday to Junie? Any upcoming? Oh, wait. Make sure you guys tune into Granny Wowzers. She has a beautiful bluegrass song out there. All right. Make sure you
Yes.
guys look into that. Can you tell everyone about the single and where they can find it?
Oh yeah, it's available on all platforms. So it doesn't matter how you're listening to it to you can hear it on all platforms, Deezer, YouTube, all of them. And that's called She Don't Date,
She don't
and
dare.
that's the bluegrass version. And bluegrass is something I used to sing with my father, or as I call him, my daddy. And we used to do duets when I was younger. So bluegrass is something that's a part of who I am too. And if you don't know
Beautiful.
what bluesgrass is, it's blues and dirt country is how we call it. It's not
Gritty.
just country, it's that gritty. Yeah, it's that
It's
gritty
gritty.
dirt
It has to be
country
grit.
with the blues in it because the way black people made blues, so it all came together.
Love
Music is all together. And then I have another song too out there they're stirring up some trouble, but if you want to listen to it, it's really to encourage and to push people to go out there and fight for what they believe in and to stand up for their rights. And we won't say the name of it here on the Dr. Poetry show
I
because
don't know what it is, but I'm gonna take her word for it.
yes.
She's saying that.
Follow me, follow Granny, follow Wowzers FM 106 on Instagram, and you can get all that information.
Man, shout
Here
out
we
to
go.
Granny Wowzers because she has such a beautiful voice. I told you this is beautiful. Your voice is so beautiful. I mean
Thank
it.
you.
Make sure you're following Granny Wowzers. She is not only a poet, but a hell of an advocate for autism, mental health. I love this woman.
Mm,
She does the damn
Thank
thing, and
you.
she's so talented. She's the Jane of all trades. I say that with a lot of love. Really, you are. You put the wow in wowzers. You know what I mean? She's wow and wowzers. How do I feel like Nettles today? I don't know. I'm like,
I
oh,
know. I was just saying that's such a Nettles thing because Nettles loves to hype me up. If you need a hype man, go to the DJ Chili Chill show. The man on there named
shout
Nettles
out to
Owens.
Lamar
That's
House.
your man. That's your
For
man
real.
right there. He'll hype you up. He'll make you feel really
Absolutely.
good about yourself, which
He
is a
really
great
does.
aspect. It's a great
Right.
aspect.
Because he sees the good in you.
And I love that.
Right.
He brings it out of you, and I'm all for that. All right, everyone. Like I said, you know what to do. Call 787-401-9965. We also, we have merch, hearmeoutpoetry.com. Go into our website, and we're going to work on a lot of I keep saying it because we have a lot of activity. We're busy people, but I'm working on some new merch for Hear Me Out Poetry. Okay. But I was getting started on, listen, I'm keeping it a buck. I was working on my Badge of Pearls shop. It needed some love, and we have a new face for Badge of Pearls. We have it all. We have a new thing. So you guys, www.badgeofpearls.com, as well as hearmeoutpoetry.com. Now I could focus much more on that merch. We've been having a lot of changes in Hear Me Out Poetry, as you can see. So we're trying to get organized. It's all love, right? And I say this with all the love I have and respect for anyone who's ever walked through the Hear Me Out Poetry family, the Hear Me Out Poetry production. I wish everyone the best success, endeavors. I truly mean it. It's all love. No bad blood here. I love poetry. No one can take that away from me. It's my baby. And so I say all that to say healing is the best remedy for any type of thing, anything that you cannot even understand. When we start looking at ourselves in the mirror and we try to balance ourselves out, we can hear, the healing knocking on the door. Sometimes we get lost when we're in pain and we don't say the right things, or we don't know how to address certain things. I have this poem right here that I'm going to play. It's a piece. It's called Healing. You guys heard it before, and we're going to see you very soon. Okay? Granny, I appreciate you so much.
I am more than just an identity.
I catch you.
I'm not just an idea, a concept, or an afterthought. I have to trust my soul. I'm trying to open up to be the individual within the collective, to be greater us, to be the greater us. And I know now I have an interest in the technology of my body. It's more than just an awakening. I realize it feels like I'm constantly seeking connectivity, understanding of self. I see myself transform through my ego, and it has helped me to survive. And I cannot allow it to control me. Allowing my heart to channel is flowing. It's a place where I can free the ego that's causing barricades in my solutions, my ability to execute these poetic expressions. I find my heart to be the place where my healing dismisses external power struggles, where my mind translates healthy emotions. I once thought they were lacking stability, truly fearful of inconsistency, enforcing the act and the application of my own discernment, intuition, maintaining an undeniable motivation, pouring into my higher self. Regardless of any disconnections of the fields of intelligence, it's when I tap into my infinite potential. In truth, it reaches all of my flow state, breaking free from man-made identities, when now I can connect to my authentic essence of who I truly am. I can receive guidance, feeling as though I'm in a trance, channeling, embodying my essence. It's been a while moving forward towards source, no longer ignoring contact connection through poetry. I am tapping into my many fields, attracting the synchronization that I manifested. And I read the time on the microwave, and it's 5:55, and I'm leveling up, changing for the better, keeping the momentum going. My desire to want to learn more and more, and now I read, it's 4:44 on my phone. Clarity, decisiveness, it's what I've been preparing for, finally coming into fruition, tapping into my intuition, applying my desire to answer to life. It's calling me to heal. I'm healing me, the being compassionate being. The being within me, while expanding and returning to harmony, truly celebrating the freeing of thyself from the egocentric identity while respecting my essence. Knock, knock, who's there? It's transcendence, and it feels like I'm that girl walking on fire. Rewire thoughts to nurture my expansion, loving on nature while loving on me. Loving me, loving that being in me. I am more than just a man-made identity. I'm healing. I'm honoring the being within me, desperately needing me. I am healing, allowing my heart to channel. It's flowing, It's a place where I can free the ego that's causing barricades in my solutions and my ability to execute these poetic expressions. I'm not just an idea, a concept, or an afterthought. I'm healing. I'm Dr. Poetry.
Batch of Pearls was created with the wisdom from time and experience. Like a pearl, takes years to form. It comes from the constant effort and time an oyster puts into changing something painful into a beautiful and bearable outcome. My wisdom comes from time and effort invested in learning from mistakes and turning them into something positive. Pearls teach us to use unavoidable pain to gain insight and create beauty. I'm Dr. Poetry.
When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. No more falsehoods and divisions. Golden living dreams of visions. Mystic crystal revelation in the mind's true liberation. That is the age of Aquarius.
Agua fluye, amor nos une, I'm Dr. Poetry. Luz intensa, esperanza. Welcome to the age of Aquarius, where not only water flows, but most of all knowledge flows. We have no other option but to grow. The mind expands, love unites us, and our desire to challenge those ancient lies willingly grows. New ideas shine brightly, and it doesn't always look pretty. But hope is reborn, firm and extensive. All social constructs and false narratives are elegantly torn diligently in this era of change and freedom. Change and freedom.
The age of Aquarius.
I'm Dr. Poetry.
Feels like my conscience is free. Like knowledge just flows in the current.
When my mind gets weary and my eyes get teary, I open my heart and bare my soul. The poetry begins to unfold. As I write or as I type, I capture the rhythm of my life. Happy moments but also pain and strife. Poetry is my water, it's my life. Healing to my soul, put joy and strife. Absolute beauty unfolds, carrying me into stories untold. It's my life, it's my soul. Poetry. Each word a drop, each line a stream, flowing through my hopes and dreams. The healing power takes control, bringing peace to my weary soul. The truth in me, the stories untold. In every verse, my heart is consoled. Poetry is my water, it's my life. Healing to my soul, through joy and strife. Absolute beauty unfolds, carrying me into stories untold. It's my life, it's my soul. Poetry. In every tear, in every sigh, poetry lifts me, lets me fly. It's the essence of who I am. In every line I take is poetry.